Okay, I'm willing to admit up front today that today's video is just a little bit of a rant, okay? So you've been forewarned. It's going to be a little bit of a rant. Now, that being said, I'm not looking for anyone to agree or nor disagree. I'm not looking for anyone to support or oppose me in this. I'm just making a statement that I think will be eventually good for all of the transplant world. Okay, now basically it comes down to something I'm seeing over and over and over again in so many of our Facebook groups, particularly some of the bigger and better ones. You know, and I mean by bigger, obviously size, numbers, but also better in that these are groups that I typically find a tremendous amount of support. I find great information. I find people who have lived like I have, with that, been there and doing that type of experience. And they're from all over the world. Those are some of the best groups to be involved in, because you do get a lot of opinion, you get a lot of, if you will, perspectives on things, and that can always be good. However, in many of these groups, and this happens in the comments below my videos as well, I'm not claiming that it doesn't, but in many of these groups, we find people who will say constantly, and I do mean constantly, they'll say, everybody is different. Every situation is different. Every scenario is different. Everybody faces things differently. And we'll make big statements, big, bold statements about that. And that's absolutely right. But at the same time, if anyone ever comes in the group looking for encouragement, looking for support, looking for, you know, just someone to, I think, to give them a shoulder to cry on, and they make statements such as, I think I've made a mistake, or, you know, transplant, my experience has been horrible, or I wish I had never done this, and things similar to that. If anyone ever does that in our groups, in general, this doesn't apply to everyone. Thank you for those who do not react this way. But more times than not, if anyone ever does or says anything like that, makes that type of statement, there's just a pile on at that point. There are people who go at them, you know, full force and say, oh, you should never feel that way. Transplant is a wonderful gift. And for you to say that you wish you had never done it, or to make negative comments about that doesn't speak good of your donor. That just shames your donor's family. And or I hear people say, oh, that just discourages others. You know, they see these things come up, and that's just a discouragement to others. We should all be thinking positively and speaking positively. Well, that might be true in some places in life. But when you come to a support group, every one of these are named support group of some sort. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for support. And it's kind of a two-faced kind of an answer, to be honest with you. It's kind of a hypocritical answer to tell someone on the one hand that you're a member of a support group and that everybody is different. And then as soon as someone comes with an opinion that is very different from yours, such as that example, I wish I'd have never done this, transplant's horrible, because you don't feel that way or you haven't experienced that, that's no reason not to be able to support them. You know, when that happens, there are a number of options available. The first option is the one that we do hear sometimes, and I appreciate those who probably remind us of this. Scroll on. If you don't have anything to add to that, if you don't have anything positive to say or encouraging there, scroll on, move on. We don't have to answer everyone in the group. However, you know, our perspective, the way we view transplant, is based on typically our own personal experience, again, which are different from others. For example, my experience with heart transplant some 11 plus years ago was that I woke up 45 minutes after surgery. Within about 6 to 8 hours, I was sitting in a chair beside my bed. Within 24 hours, I was up and down walking the halls. Within a week, I was walking 3 and 4 miles up and down the halls. That's a wonderful experience. In 11 years, I've never experienced any rejection, never had any major side effects to medications, and that's a great experience. And so that leads me to speak of transplant as just being a wonderful gift, you know, and to speak very positively about it. However, I've got a good friend. She was called for her transplant. She goes in, receives her transplant. You'd assume everything would be lovely at that point, but she's in a coma for weeks. She wakes up from the coma to find out her kidneys are failing. to find out that she has brain damage from the surgery itself. Something went wrong. There was a bleed during surgery, and there's brain damage left behind. To find out eventually that she's going to lose some of her toes because of some circulation issues and clots and such as that. That's a different experience altogether. And she didn't, but that's a situation where I think some would easily say, I wish I'd have never done this. The day before she went through that experience, she was planning to go on vacation. She was literally about to leave to go on vacation with some of her friends. And now she gets the wonderful call that her transplant is finally available after like 5+ years. And this is the situation she's left in. And so everyone's experience is different. And because of that, everyone's perspective is different. And so if someone says, I wish I'd have never done this, or this is horrible, this is not what I've been through, or someone gets in a group and says, has anybody else dealt with, and they list out so many things that'll, terrify the new member to the group or terrify the person waiting for transplant. I hate that last part of that happens. But also that is sometimes reality. It's the sad reality of transplant. And so all that I'm reminding myself to do, and you as well, if you want to take this advice, take opportunity to find a way to encourage them. Things like scrolling past work, but I think what we really need to be doing is getting in and saying, I hate that you feel that way. I'm thankful that my experience has been much more positive. And then say, if you'd like, reach out. You're in a Facebook group. You've probably got a messenger turned on somewhere. Reach out to me. I'd love to talk with you and learn more about why you're saying that or what your situation is. And maybe we can help. Try to extend that. Extend some grace. Extend some mercy. Extend some compassion and love to these people because they're obviously struggling. You know as well as I do, not only do the situations change our perspective, but medications do as well, do they not? I mean, anybody who's ever been on prednisone, I call it the devil's drug, that corticosteroid you're on after transplant, the mood swings that can come with that, the emotions that come with that. The emotions that come with just the knowledge that someone died, and I'm talking in heart-lung perspective, but that someone died and now you live, because there's some grief. There's just the flooding of emotion after transplant is unbelievable anyway. And so, whatever you're able to do, if you're able to help. If not, again, I would probably just say scroll on, but please, 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 let's support these people. These are the people we need to spend the most of our time helping, I think, here as a support group. We need to spend extra time being cautious, being careful, being, gentle in our words, but to say, I hate that you feel this way, but I think that's the best way to start any conversation. I hate that you feel this way, but if you want to say, I hate that you feel this way, but, transplant is still a wonderful gift, say that, but then move on. If you got more advice, I hate you feel this way, my experience was not this, how can I help? How can I extend my love for you? That's the question to ask myself. How am I helping the situation? It doesn't matter what the post is. That's, again, what these groups are about. All right, I've had trouble with my voice the last few days, so I've had to run. But I hope this helps. And until next time, stay stronger, my friends.